My name's Alan John Miller, but I'm actually Jesus.
I remember all of the events of my crucifixion. I understood what was going on. I understood the reason for my death.
He bears some semblance with Franco Zeffirelli's lead cast in his 1977 blockbuster Jesus of Nazareth, played by Robert Powell. The British actor will go on to become the face of Jesus Christ in shelters, homes, and churches years after the classic Jesus of Nazareth movie.
I can't see how the truth can grow on the planet when the people who have heard the truth for the longest period of time are still in huge disagreement with it inside of their souls.
But now, Australian Alan John Miller, popularly known as AJ, claims he is the Messiah, the incarnate of the Lord Jesus Christ.
My name's Alan John Miller, but I'm actually Jesus.
I remember all of the events of my crucifixion. I understood what was going on. I understood the reason for my death.
Miller lives in an isolated place in Queensland, Australia, where he's preparing both the young and the old for the apocalyptic end of the world.
I'm Jesus, this is Mary. And so what we want to do today is talk about addictions and bribery and fear, threats and blackmail. I can feel that many of you are still in addictions with regard to your development towards God. I've got all of these emotional injuries. I will feed them with my truth. These things are not going to go away from you just by you getting baptised.
Some say he is a leader of an emerging cult.
Because only the most extreme cults isolate themselves in a compound. This is when groups become the most extreme, because the leader controls everything.
A former Jehovah's Witness pastor, Miller made his living from land development and his computer business. But now he believes he holds the salvation of the world in his hands.
Is it true that your mother tried to commit you to a psychiatric ward?
Yes, it is true. Yeah. And these are things that I knew would occur. This is why I went, what? I've got to, I'm having all these memories of who I am, and I realise all of these different things coming up, and I also think about my future, and I go, boy, do I really want to bite this off again? My mum and dad in the first century followed me around, telling everybody I was crazy for most of my ministry. So my father didn't even change his mind until my passing in the first century.
So can you show me the nail marks in your hands?
Of course not, because it's not the same body.
This has compelled faithful of AJ to buy properties close to his so they can be near the man who they believe is the Messiah.
He's a bringer of truth. I feel that he is the Messiah. He's the messenger of God's truth to help us wake up.
Yes, he is. He is Jesus. Whenever I think about him now, I just cry. I'm starting to have a soul, an emotional realisation of who he is. It's overwhelming because I know that only God can save me, but at the moment I feel that he's saved me through his teachings and his truth and love that I haven't experienced through anyone else.
He spreads the gospel through his YouTube and Facebook pages, which has 35 followers and an interesting outlook. Whilst some rejoice over the presence of the Messiah, others say he has brought pain to their families.
It's torn my life to pieces. I've lost my wife, I've lost my home, I've lost my family. It's been tremendously devastating. And yet he's calling this divine love. If Miller walked into the room right now, the way I feel right at this point, initially I'd have him up against the wall and I'd look at him right in his eye and I'd rip the f***er's throat right out. Every day there would be more downloads, and it was continuous. I watched Jen over the course of a month or so basically become so absorbed in it that it seemed to be the whole focus for her. It was everything that she would be listening to.
When you start opening this soulmate side of you, what will happen is every other attraction that you've ever had will start to die.
Call it a cult or Christianity. A penny for your thoughts.